When I was 18 years old, my father told me, you get a job or I kick you out. So I had to get a job, and I got a job actually on the very same day because I was so desperate, and I put all my focus on God and the devil. I was literally just asking for anyone or anything to help me because my father literally told me on a Saturday afternoon that on Monday I would be kicked out if I wouldn't have a job. So I knew I had to get it immediately, and I got it on the very same day within a few hours actually. And it was not a fancy job, but it was a job, 9 to 5, washing cars, car washer. So I did that for 1 year, and then I quit. I quit because I had dreams that were far too big for a 9 to 5 job. But I did it, the 9 to 5, to save money and also to keep my father happy and give me some time to prepare. And it was the best decision of my life to quit and follow my dream. Now, what did I do? I started working on my own businesses. I started working on my social media reach. I worked on different projects. And one specific project was also spirituality and the dark occult. I became a leader in that specific industry. Now, I've learned a lot, and throughout the years, I have then decided to stop that because it did not anymore resonate with my inner growth. Okay, but in these times, I was teaching about the occult and alchemy, spiritual alchemy, and elite knowledge that most people are not even interested in. But those people that are interested in, they would be ready to pay big money for that. And so I scaled that business from literally nowhere to $30,000. Okay, so actually 30,000 euros, because this entire story starts in Germany. Now, the thing is, this was a really, really powerful business for me, and it led to different other business opportunities. But long story short, it got me from being in Germany to moving into total luxury. And I was traveling the world. I went to Malta, which is close to Italy. I went to Paris, and then I traveled to Dubai, and I settled in Dubai. So that was in the year 2020, 2021, when everyone was actually in the COVID pandemic. I was actually enjoying life. I was actually in Dubai. I was actually traveling the world. I didn't care about the pandemic because this is all just a trap. This is just a theater. This is just to scare people. And it works. It keeps the frequency low, you know? And I'm not saying that everything is a lie, but I'm saying that those who feel too much intimidated by it, they are controlled by it. So there might be some truth behind pandemics or what's going on in the world. Some events they are truthful, some are not. But whether it's truth or not, it doesn't matter. The only thing that mattered to me was what will I make out of it? Will I stay stuck? Will I be scared? Or will I thrive? Will I get to the next level? Will I get to the luxury that I always envisioned? And that's what I did. And so I was living in Dubai, everything was good. And one of my social media followers that followed me for my businesses had actually reached out, and we texted back and forth, and eventually we met in Dubai. I hired her, and out of a worker became a girlfriend, and immediately a marriage. Crazy, I know. But the craziest part is coming right now. This is when everything took a turn, and I'm telling you, not for the better. So this was the craziest turn in my lifetime. What's coming next is crazy. She told me that her mother was not feeling well. She was constantly sick and not feeling well. So I was saying, hey, come on, let's just visit her now. If she's not feeling well, we should be there. Okay, so we went to her mother. We traveled to her mother, but not just any country, but Pakistan, a country that I've never really heard anything about. I've never really heard any good about. Okay, because I come from Germany, and on the embassy side of Germany, it says warning: do not visit it, do not go there, it's dangerous, do not go there, you will get robbed. And so I was a little bit scared. I had anxiety, to be honest. And when I when I reached the airport on that very day, and I don't know if you know what that is, it's called AQI. It's basically the number that that tells you how good air is. The air on that day was like 1,100, 1,400. Basically, it says if you breathe this air in, you can get severe sickness, cancer, or any really, really severe sickness. So the day I arrived, it was that bad air. It was a jackpot for me. So I already had anxiety. The air was not breathable. Here I was with my mask on. I had a mask on with some electric purifier installed, and I was trying to breathe, but I could not. I could not. But the good thing is, I was welcomed with flowers, which was cute, right? But it got crazier. It got much crazier. I was in Pakistan visiting the family, seeing everyone, checking on everyone, and all seemed good. I was having my projects with my business partners, everything was looking good. And yeah, here's where the problem started. We did a big project. It was back in the times people were doing a lot of work within crypto, within NFTs. Some people might not know about that. Some people might. So NFTs was a big thing in the past. Now I will not get into it because it's boring. But the thing is, we were working on a really, really big project. And it was not just a project where extreme amounts of money were invested, but I also had to fully dedicate to this project. So I had to say, okay, I do not work on any of my other income streams because this is going to be an income stream that is going to make me so rich that I don't even need the other income streams. The most foolish decision. And you're going to find out why. Um, Nothing worked out as it was supposed to. The entire project failed. Okay. But the thing is, I had invested so much. You need to know that I had the very best lawyer from London hired to get the incorporation done in the US. Okay. Because I wanted to later on go to the US and have my company there, have a lot of good stuff in place, such as good lawyers and also a really good CPA. You know what? This is crazy, but I had the same CPA as 50 Cent, the rapper, right? So yeah, it sounds expensive and it was expensive. Okay, so basically this was a not worst decision. It was just it didn't work out. So all the money was lost. So here was without any previous income streams because I had to dedicate my full time onto that project. So all the previous income streams they were gone. No money and actually a loss from the failed project and no money that I could anticipate to be earning in the next few months, maybe even year. So that was the moment where it really hit me. I was broke in a country where I did not even speak the language, where I was feeling very unwell because I got sick day in, day out. Every 2, 3 days, I got sick. I don't even want to tell you what all I had, but it was horrible. 6 months of constant sickness. Okay. After 6 months, my body slowly settled in and got used to things, but it was 6 months of total suffering. And it was a horrible time. Now I was before that decision. Do I stay stuck? Do I run away from this life? Or what do I do next? Because the issue also was is that my wife, being a Pakistani, does not have it so easy when it comes to getting a visa to different countries. And so it was a dragging process. It took always long. And yeah, things come from one thing to another, and I was just really stuck. So I was trying to build some money because you cannot travel the world if you don't have money. I was basically totally lost. I went from luxury in Dubai to being stuck in Pakistan where I don't speak the language, was sick and totally broke. Okay, so it was the worst scenario possible. So I had to decide. And I decided to give it my best shot and manifest because I remembered I did it once, I did it twice, I did it 3 times, I did it so many times. So why not doing it right now as well? I was so depressed, but in that moment of depression, I was deciding I had to give it my all. I have to try because I cannot settle for that life. So I gave it my all. And I don't know how, but it was just that this idea came to me and I was like, okay, maybe I need to do something that I never wanted to do, right? So that's what I did. And it's crazy. But I started learning a new skill that I learned from YouTube. I went on YouTube and I was just checking out Shopify website development. So I typed that in and I learned that. I'm a quick learner, okay, but still, it's crazy that it actually worked out. I learned how to make websites on Shopify, a website builder where you can make a website, an online shop. And yeah, so I learned that. I went on freelancing platforms and starting to set up my profile, my service, everything, setting up the pricing, what I offer. Good. And what happened? Nothing, nothing at all. But throughout the many years, I had a lot of marketing knowledge and manifestation skills. So I really worked on manifesting clients. And at first, I was struggling because, of course, I was still depressed. And if you are depressed, then your frequency is low. So I fixed that. I worked on that, and I got out of that uh, stuckness of being stuck in depression. And I manifested one client, and then another, and then another, and then it started all as a freelancer. But then I got more and more successful. Got first to a few $1,000s, and that was the first point where I realized, okay, actually, right now I'm earning more than a full-time worker in Germany. Okay, from Pakistan, I'm earning more online than someone in Germany working full-time. Although I just work like 2, 3 hours a day, I earned more. So that for me, in my mind, that was really an important moment because that's when I had it validated that life is taking an upward spiral and that I'm not lost anymore and that I actually, yeah, can make it out of hell. To me, it was hell. No offense to anybody from Pakistan or who loves Pakistan. I totally appreciate the country, but to me, it was such a struggle. So, um, yeah, I got my agency made from this project. So basically, I was a freelancer. Then I hired one guy. I hired another. I hired another. I became an agency at one point. I was so successful in it that I actually worked for 2, 3 other agencies who I did the work for. So basically, I was an agency behind an agency. Okay, because I was thinking, well, if I already give the work to my workers, I anyway don't have to do the work, and an agency provides me the clients, then that's splendid because they provide me the clients. The agency gives me the clients. My workers do the work. I just cash. I just get the cash. So yeah, that's how it worked. And it was good. Now this was a really really great thing for me because I was able to scale to 5 figures. I was able to regain freedom and actually see life from a positive side again. I started going outside to restaurants, started to buy nice things for myself again, and I started to dream again. And that was really great. But as I had so many projects now going on, working for a lot of clients, had workers that I had to manage, working with different agencies, I started to overwork myself more and more. And I was feeling totally burned out at one point because of all of the other stuff that I mentioned and that I went through. It was really tough for me mentally. I was mentally so dried out, burned out. And so, yeah, I said to myself, okay, now I'm making enough money, but I got to stop this because this is killing me. This is literally the end for me if I don't stop this in time. So I said, okay, I will now do only half the work and I dedicate, yeah, myself, um, yeah, and focus on regaining mental clarity, mental health, and becoming strong, resolving trauma, resolving negative habits, resolving negative limiting beliefs. And that was a game changing year. I was already earning good, okay? Because manifestation can get you anything, anything. But issues that are within yourself cannot just be manifested away. This is something that you have to work on. And I had to learn it the hard way throughout these many years how to actually heal because therapists couldn't help me. I'm not saying that I have a better solution than them. I just say that I found a way that worked for me. And I was able to resolve my limiting beliefs. Out of thin air, literally, a friend popped up, okay, dropping into my email and telling me, hey, I just learned a new thing, a new skill. I have started learning a special form of therapy, which is called RRT, okay, rapid resolution therapy. And she said to me, oh, yeah, I'm currently learning that. I'm going through that licensing course. It's a program where I'm learning this, and the founder, he's teaching us, and blah, blah, blah. So she learned the exact skill that would help to resolve limiting beliefs and trauma. Speak about manifestation. Okay. So she dropped into my life right in that time that I learned how to do it myself. And exactly in that time where I needed the help most. She popped into my life and boom, just helped me. Okay. I had such a rapid growth, such a rapid progress. uh, It was insane. Okay. And yeah, that was for me that year really all about health, about rebuilding, mental health, rebuilding in terms of removing trauma, removing limiting beliefs, removing anything that kept me stuck mentally. Because throughout the many years, I already learned how to manifest, which is the spiritual side of things. But then there's the mental side of things, which is traumas, limiting beliefs, belief patterns, and so on, which I then have also figured out. And then, of course, things also require some effort and the correct actions, which is the physical side of things. But I figured out all three of them. And that's how I have made something incredible possible. I was able to quit freelancing. I started offering courses online. Okay, these courses, they're digital. That means people can just consume them, learn from me, and I don't have to really spend more time for each customer, because once a course is recorded, they can just watch it. Okay, I don't need to put in more time. So I just started selling that, but that turned out to be not a main project, which I first intended it to be, but it became a side project. So that became a side project because a much bigger opportunity suddenly got manifested. A friend reached out to me, and it's crazy. I'm saying a friend, a friend, a friend, the same friend. Okay, the same friend that learned that RT therapy reached out to me, and we got into contact, and we talked about business. And since we both have a lot of business knowledge, we just talked about this, and one thing came to another, and we just realized that we both can give each other exactly the type of work that would be like a puzzle piece. I would be completing her and she would be completing me in terms of work. Okay. And so out of this became a really strong partnership, and we built a big company, and selling also spiritual products, and we scaled that to such an amazing revenue that we are making every single month in the multiple five figures, meaning at least 10,000, 20,000, $30,000 per month, which for me was a total game changer, because for that type of money, well, I did not even make 20K as a freelancer, but if I would now take a 20K month, that type of money meant for me as a freelancer or as the agency owner, it meant for me to work all day long, to be busy all the time. Okay, so um, it was for me a total game changer, because with the new project, I had course sales on the side as a side project. I did not dedicate myself to that anymore, because I realized I gotta double down on that big opportunity right now. And I made the big bucks coming in. This is really crazy that I manifested always my way out of every hurdle. Okay. So if you find that crazy, if you also want that, then here's a few tips of what you can do to really, really step out of whatever you're facing right now. Number one, re- you need to always remember that it is not about a visualization, it is not about an affirmation, but it's about alignment. Now, if you want to become super rich, if you want to have a life of luxury, you need to have a way for the money to come into your life. That's the step number one. Maybe you work a job and maybe you can manifest a promotion, okay? But a job always has a certain ceiling that you can reach, a certain ceiling. Once you have reached it, it's difficult to go beyond it, okay? Because every job has a limitation to some degree, okay? But yeah, we got to figure out first how the money reaches you, okay? So you need to have a way in the physical for the money to reach you. If you don't have that, then yes, maybe you will win in the casino some money, or a person who owes you some money gave you the money, or you get a promotion, or something else really cool happened. But long-term money cannot really come to you in this way. I'm just telling you the truth. Many people don't want to tell you that, but I'm telling you that. So the first step is actually to establish some income that ideally just comes in from the internet. Okay, and it's easier than you think. I can also teach about that, but I'm not getting too much into it. I'm just giving you here now the overview of what you need to do. Number one, Make it possible. Okay. There needs to be a way for the money to come into your life. Number two, fix what is keeping you stuck. Traumas, limiting beliefs, belief patterns. That's something that is overlooked. That's something that keeps people stuck because that is the exact thing that whenever I manifested myself into total luxury, my mental issues were the issues that pulled me down again. Okay. Because being stuck in a country like Pakistan is not a coincidence, but it is the end result of my own manifestation. Because if you're mentally stuck, then you will manifest this stuckness in the spiritual as well. And as you do that, it happens and it's manifested. Okay, so it's more important than than manifestation. Okay, the most important thing is focus on your mental game. That means do shadow work. Okay, which is acknowledging your weaknesses, acknowledging your thoughts, acknowledging maybe you hate someone, maybe you are very angry, but acknowledge that. Don't try to suppress it, but instead ask yourself, why am I right now angry? Why am I right now jealous? What is causing this in me? And look inside of yourself and ask yourself, why am I angry right now? Why? And not only it helps to resolve that anger, but it also tells you the story that you need to be hearing because you need to listen to yourself because 24/7 your mind is telling you the story that you need to be aware of. And until you're not fully aware of it, your mind will play games with you, okay, and keeps you stuck. So listen to yourself. You get angry, ask yourself why, and then you get an answer. Okay, so yeah, I get angry because that person didn't treat me right. But why does that trigger me? Okay, because someone else might not be triggered by the same thing. So there's a reason why you get triggered by this. Okay, now, um, yeah, follow up with why things aren't the way that you like them to be. Okay, so why aren't the things the way that I want them to be? What's causing that? Okay, think about this, right? Maybe it is you, your actions. Okay, maybe, yeah, I should really have done this and that, but why did you not do that? Why did you not do that? Yeah, I felt a little bit insecure. Why do you not feel safe doing this? Why do you not feel confident? Ask yourself these questions. Okay. If you need help with that, I have a freebie that you can check out in the description. It's free. Check it out. It helps you. It gets you started on the right foot. And yeah, let's jump to the next step, which is manifestation. Okay. Manifestation also obviously important when it comes to manifesting, but I tell you the least important. If you already have the physical step, which is having a way for the money to come into your life, and have figured out the second step, which is mentally be clear and free of trauma, limiting beliefs, and belief patterns that keep you stuck. Once you clear these two steps, once you have done these two, the third step, which is manifestation, is easy. It's easy, which is the reason why it's easy for me because I figured out these two steps. Okay, first step, make sure you have a way for the money to come. Number two, figure out your own self. Okay, like I said, the freebie is available. You can just download it. It costs you nothing and helps you to get all three steps figured out, get started, and experience a total life change. Not only like I did, but like all of the people do that apply this. Okay. Now, I cannot guarantee you that you achieve it unless you apply it in the exact way that I did. And that means put in the effort. If you don't put in the effort, if you procrastinate, that's another thing to ask a question. Why? Why? Why are you procrastinating? Is life not tough enough? Do you need to be stuck like me in Pakistan to finally realize, okay, I'm dying right so slowly because you're sick every single day? Do you need it this tough to finally wake up and get started? I hope not, because chances are you're going to manifest yourself into such a tough situation if you don't take action right now. Some people might watch this and might think, well, I'm going to do it later because you think you got time, because you think it's not important right now. But I'm telling you, some people don't take action and actually lose everything. Now, I want you to follow me, subscribe, follow me around because I'm going to share a lot of useful things that help you ascending through the roof. Subscribing is for free, and I see you in the next video.